and welcome to the 14th episode of the Mediocre at Best podcast, the best podcast on the entire platform. You can't deny it. How are you?
Absolutely gorgeous intro.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Well, I'm just feeling like basically, because right, so there's been little wee bit of context. There's been about 2 weeks since we recorded the last one.
Been a while.
Subcontext. We're going through the busiest part of uni for the first year at the moment, and probably as busy as it will get till next Christmas, probably. So bear with us on the content. We'll try our best.
Can't promise. It's difficult.
But there's been 2 weeks since the last podcast, and what I was going to say was, in those 2 weeks, I went from barely any of the people that I knew about watching the podcast, to recently, from comments on podcasts to just talking with people, quite a few people,
Definitely,
like uni group, watch the podcast.
A lot of people on my in my group now have been like, "Oh, I watched the episode yesterday." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Like, if you're watching this and you're from a martyr, thank you. Also, to be fair though, like, genuinely, like, if you're from a martyr and we don't know that you're a happy listener, please let me know. I'm actually quite interested to know who's a fan, who's getting involved.
It's really strange to think that people we know and talk to are watching us waffle for a wee bit.
But it's quite. Maybe this is my more, but this is it. It's quite nice at the same time. So it's kind of like, you know, like, you just want to know a little more about me. You want to get the vibe. Like,
it's fucking lovely. It's like an insight into my life.
What I've been doing, and what I noticed just there, is I've clearly been watching too many more serious podcasts, because I went a bit like, you know, it's great if you do. I'm going too analytical these days. Too much Stephen Bartlett for me.
Great, that was great. It's good. It's good. Maybe we become a really serious podcast.
Maybe we should do complete, serious, deadpan deep dives into our personal lives and backstories. Create proper Diary of a CEO episodes for ourselves.
How would we cope?
I reckon we could do it. I reckon if we got somber enough and was just like, this is the story of our lives. This is.
I reckon we should do a similar. I don't know how familiar, but Jack's Happy Hour. They did that with Stevie and Jack.
Yeah,
they did a very deep episode on their one episode on Stevie quite. I mean,
we can do those at some point. 20 and I reckon 20 and 21 roughly.
Okay,
that's where I'm thinking that those could be good ones to pre-film for summer. Because we need to start thinking about pre-filming the ones where we don't have topics. In terms of we have one big topic, those could be two that work for that. For a podcast, you're doing a lot of and not much talking.
My thought is, because it's going to be, because I was thinking about the summer thing. And because the difficult thing is we talk about here is very topic now happening based, and that's going to be very difficult to pre-record. That's my.
Well, what it's going to have to be is we're going to have to pre-record episodes like last week's, and like we just said, because about our lives, or a topic about board games.
Or on my podcast when we did the time travel thing. Yeah. That can go out whenever.
So those are the types of things
the time travel can go out whenever.
And then in between those, I come to your gaff and we try and talk about some topics.
Yeah.
As, you know, over summer it'll probably be more like 2 weeks instead of weekly.
Yeah. We'll see.
Weekly anyway.
We'll see. It's in the future, isn't it? Let's worry about the now. Yeah. And the now is Rubicon Still Mango.
We've got some more Rubicon, boys.
And I've got a empty Rubicon. I love the Rubicon.
So for our drinks trying segment back in the day, it was we tried a lot of Rubicon, and you might know, if you're a fan of the old boys, I quite like the kind of tropical mango vibe. I don't know if I've ever explained this.
I love tropical.
But one of my most nostalgic things is when I used to go on like a proper like caravan holiday.
Okay.
One of the breakfasts that me and my family did quite often, because this was kind of like go slightly healthier and then later in the day you can pig out. What we used to do is banana and like yogurt type vibe.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like a big like sharing pot of yogurt.
No, I get that.
So me and my mum would share, and then my dad and my sister would share, because we kind of like the same favourites. Me and my mum always went for like usually something like a mango, passion fruit and papaya.
Oh,
That's what sticks in my head.
Oh, you're talking my language. That is.
So, and I've had that sort of thing on like holiday
Yeah.
since I was like 5. So the nostalgia for that
It's like
kind of
tropically-
flavour.
Yeah.
The actual fruit. No,
Yeah.
it's
But
really
the flavour, the like tropically flavour.
that kind of vibe is my vibe.
And this seems more like a
Why don't you
juice than less of like a squash sort of thing, and more of a juice sort of thing. Like
Oh,
the consistency
yeah.
of it.
Let's give it a wee go.
Be swept up by mango and glide through floral lychee aromas. Did you get swept up by sweet mango and glide through lychee?
Yo, Rubicon sponsor this podcast. I want some free shit. That's good.
Oh my god,
That's
that is
lovely.
sick.
And also, especially for the camper shop, which can rip you off, £1.19
bad.
for 500 mils is very good.
500 mils of that as well.
Honestly, if you like this podcast and you fancy supporting someone, buy Rubicon. Buy some
They're great.
Rubicon, because
Anything,
it's a
like-
banging brand.
They do everything. Like literally, it's like fizzy stuff, like squash stuff, like they
Look, we've had a Rubicon energy drink
Yeah,
that worked really well.
we
That's
did.
natural.
They do big bottles of stuff as well. Like if you want to get like a proper like litre size, you can do Rubicon. Honestly,
Rubicon, get in touch about a sponsorship. We can be
Should we
the
tweet
Rubicon podcast. Yeah,
should we take Rubicon UK?
yeah, we should. We should get that going.
I'll edit a compilation together of all of our Rubicon drinks and send
Just
it to them
send
and
it
be like,
to
look
them
at
and
this.
go, lads. Just even if you just chuck us some free stuff, we'll keep.
Yeah, even if it's
promoting
not
it.
money, just chuck us some free drinks to try, innit?
Quite like
But I
some
would
money.
quite like money.
Quite like so money. We're cheap.
But also, literally, 50p.
So now for our second segment.
I love this
because
segment.
now I love how we are becoming more of a we have running themes podcast.
It is nice.
It's lovely. So some quotes from the week. I have 3.
I only have one, I'm afraid.
So we're going to start with Pidge. Now Pidge was a guest in episode 11, and the reason why this is funny is because if you watch that episode, you'll know the kind of person Pidge is. And this doesn't usually come out. And I can't remember the context because I wrote it down a while ago. Something irritated Pidge, and the quote, "Your mum sucks toes for a living and you're a cunt," was the thing that came out
I
of his
remember that.
mouth.
Yeah. That was it is literally just because that's such an unpidged thing to say, and it came out so eloquently.
Imagine one of our laughing fits from one of his Shrek the Musical videos. That's what happened.
Because it was just one of those things where like it was so well thought out, but it was just it was one of those moments where it was like, what has just happened? Yeah, it's so good. Isn't it?
I can't go
It's
wrong
so
with
good.
the drinkers. My next quote is so the 4 of us, me, Fraser, Pidge, who we just mentioned, and Jess.
There we go. We got the Jess mentioned.
And
Yeah, great.
enjoy, Jess. You silly twat. So we're going into town to grab some lunch, and was it? I think it was a charity. So what it was on this should have been on a Wednesday. And there's a market going on Wednesday, and one of the stalls was a charity stall, and it was one of those that like come up to you like come up to you and like can quite aggressively go, hi, can we interest you in this? Hi, can we help you today? Hi, can we?
And it's
Hi,
sort of like-
will you give us some money? And I'm like, I'm a poor uni student.
Yeah.
Why, instead of taking it from my student loan, just take it directly from the government, please? And what the way she dealt with it, Jess, we all found so funny.
It was
and I'll try and do it in as Jessie voice as possible.
excited.
No, thank you, but I really do care.
Because it was about like animals dying and like Like, it was about the extinction of animals. And just like, no, but I really do care. It's like, Jess, just say no, thank you.
Just say no, thank you. Or stop and have a 2-minute chat. The middle ground with those kind of people
because it comes across as patronising as well.
100%.
She's like, no, but I really do care about whatever the fuck. Like, Jess. Sometimes it's better for Jess not to speak.
And my other quote is another Jess thing.
I love it.
So, Jess did something that I found very funny. So Jess was round the gaff, and there was 5 minutes till her bus. So she looks at the time and checks the bus time, and I go, Jess, there's 5 minutes to your bus. The bus stop is like 2 minutes away, but she needed to leave. And Jess, and she's like, so the bus was at 18 minutes past. I remember this exactly because I know her reasoning for it. So she goes, well, no, the bus is at 18 minutes past. And I go, yeah, that's in 5 minutes. She just had a complete mind blank in terms of her excuse was because it was 12 minutes past and the bus was 18 minutes past. Her excuse was, well, I saw 18 minutes past as 20 past and I saw 12 minutes past as 10 past, so I thought we had 10 minutes and I'd be alright. It was just in the moment, I just couldn't stop because she suddenly obviously gets up and just shits at herself because she's like, oh my god, my bus is in 5 minutes. But I'm there thinking, I'm sorry. Can we go back? Can the cogs start turning again? Can we get this sorted?
Now, I've got one quote, okay?
Who's it from? Jess.
And it was today. So we had a lecture seminar thing today, and I ended up sat next to Jess. And
Fraser, I'm so sorry.
She kept sneezing, and I said, are you okay? And I want to get this right, because the wording of this is fucking amazing.
Get the exact
She says
quote.
to me, I've got a cold, and you know when you've got a cold if you can feel your kidneys itching.
And I can hear the exact way.
And when I tell you, I was pissing myself for about 5 minutes. I was gone. My brain had gone. Because I was like, she was like, you know when you have a cold where you can feel your kidneys itching. I was like, I'm sorry. She's like, you're like, here, you can just feel your kidneys itch.
What does that mean?
I literally was like, I don't know what you're on about.
No.
And she frequently talks waffle shite.
Yeah.
But to say she has so much of a cold she can feel her kidneys itching, I was lost for words.
That's a bit mental.
You need to bring it up.
I will. I will sort this out.
That is the most mental, one of the most mental things she's ever said. Her kidneys were itching because she had a cold. Like, what does that mean?
It means Jess is having a bit of confusion and this is how she lives her life.
I mean, there was another one. I don't know if we said the one about life giving you lemons on the podcast.
Let's have it.
So context, we were on the bus to Truro, and Jess has got this bag that has lemons on it, and I went, oh, when life gives you lemons, make it a bit of a good funny, and Jess goes, oh, when life gives you lemons, go to Truro, but God gave me oranges, and I'm still here.
I didn't know the second
bit.
I didn't know the second bit because I was on different part of the train.
Like, but God gave me oranges, and I'm still here. I was like, what the fuck?
On her way to Truro, she's gonna get there.
She is, honestly.
Have some patience and you'll be sound.
Christ.
Oh, Fraser.
Yes, James.
What do you know? Tell me all the facts you know about cheese. It's basically, you previously said, and I agree, that we're not very good at transitioning between topics. So I feel like, and bear in mind I'm not getting away with this one because I'm explaining my thought process. If I just say a random statement to you, let you respond, then what I can do is go into the topic.
Well, see, I don't know many facts about cheese, other than I fucking love it. And I buy a lot of cheese.
So what I discovered quite recently, because I'd never made the link before, so someone told me in conversation that they get really, like, not necessarily bad, but just, like, they remember their dreams, and their dreams are much more vivid when they've had... So, for example, you know, maybe a cheese toastie might not cut it, but for me, when I would do like a massive spag bol, obviously I'm having half the fucking block. So therefore, that's enough cheese.
Right.
I bring this up because that situation happened to me in terms of I had a spag bol, and I think I've mentioned before that I rarely remembered my dreams. That was the night. I'm not going to go into like what it was that happened, but I woke up in a little bit of a sweat.
Oh.
Because I had one of the most vivid, depressing, like
after cheese.
I was close to crying when I woke up. I don't want this to be a sob story, but like, I might need to not eat so much cheese with my spag bol, because that was intense. Maybe I'm just making it up.
No. On that topic though, I had does it though? Oh, it's difficult to digest, so it keeps you slightly awake while you sleep.
Is that why my stomach's always in pain?
Very. Fuck's sake! Is that why?
My body can't digest what I eat 80% of the time, apparently.
On that topic though, I had a very vivid dream. I had a lucid dream. And we spoke about this on a podcast. We were like, how do you lucid dream? And I had a lucid dream.
And
I remember it. I can remember it as vividly as when I had it.
Right, because I'm a sceptical human being.
Yes.
Genuinely, could you control it, or did in the dream you think you had control?
I don't know. But in the dream, I consciously was going, this is probably what I should do. And then I did it.
But isn't lucid dreaming knowing you're in the dream and therefore controlling it? So did you just have a vivid dream that you remember well and you had control over?
Either way, it was one of the most vivid dreams I've ever had in my life. And you were in it, James.
What was I doing? Did I die?
It was you. No, you didn't. So it was me, you, and Pidge.
What was I saying?
Me, you, and for fuck's sake.
Well, it kind of just like, because obviously it's not my story, so obviously if I'm the POV and I die, that means game over.
Yeah.
If I'm in your dream and I die, that just means I've done something dramatic. That's quite fun.
Me, you, and Pidge were in the sea somewhere. I can't tell you where, but we were like, we had like paddle boards or something. So we...
Sure.
So we were like in the sea with... No worries, mate, it's all good.
Did I drown?
And we got a bit too confident, and we got swept out to sea. And we ended up on like a rock.
I'd have drowned. I can't swim amazingly.
We had boards. We all ended up on like a rock, right? So I paused there, we were on a rock, we were like, this is not ideal at all. There was no land for miles, it was like, we're on a rock. We're gonna die. And then there was like, we saw like a massive like ship out on the horizon. And apparently I was like, I reckon I can swim to that. So I swim to this ship, climb on board, and I'm like, yo, can I borrow something so I can go and make sure me and my mates don't die? They're like, of course, my friend, go ahead.
Get the ship to pick us up.
Good point. So they said, if you go that side of that, you can find a submarine and you can take that and save your mates. So I
wait, no, sorry, can we go back? So you went to this ship.
This is a dream.
And the captain goes, oh shit, do you want us to go back and get your mates and we'll make sure you don't die?
He didn't even suggest that.
Oh, no thank you. I'd just like some supplies.
Just let me pilot a submarine, cunt.
3 meal deals, please.
What's 3 meal deals in a submarine? Come on.
What the fuck? What happened? Go on, finish the story.
So then, I got it, I went, the rest of the whole dream, no word of lie was me walking around the ship trying to find a submarine. I didn't dream about saving you a bitch. The whole dream was my incompetence trying to find a submarine.
Because you spent too long finding. Could you not have asked for directions?
I didn't think of that.
Could you not have sent a shimmer to help?
It was a dream, wasn't it?
It definitely wasn't a lucid dream, because you definitely didn't control what was going on.
So yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
I'm not one of those people who think dreams have meanings. I think dreams are dreams.
Yeah, I agree.
But if dreams do have meanings,
what that means
is that you can't you can't find the route back to me and Pidge.
Oh, fucking hell.
You don't.
Jesus Christ.
You don't know how to properly ask others around you for help in terms of your relationship with the captain, and you couldn't find your way back to me and Pitch.
The captain being my mental health.
And your lackadaisical attitude to your interactions with others meant you not only got yourself stranded, but you got us stranded. You see, that's the thing. People who think that dreams have meaning, you can infer, like, that's why some people like abstract, because they can infer their own meaning on what they think, and therefore think it's good. I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
I need there to be a vaguely clear meaning.
I agree.
And therefore, that's why a lot of things in the world are bollocks. Because that's why, for me, star signs are bollocks. Because they're so vague, you put your own spin on it. I know I'm waffling here.
No, but they are. They can apply to literally anyone.
It's lazy art if you go, well, I'm not supposed to tell you what it means.
So what does it mean? That's up to you, innit?
Well, you're doing half the work, cunt.
Yeah, like, that's like me uploading an unedited YouTube video. Now you can edit it yourself.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it was like, edit yourself and find out. Like,
when I don't do a conclusion to my essay, go, sorry, you haven't actually concluded what you think. Make of it what you will.
Yeah. Find out, cunt. You've got a PhD, bastard.
Sorry, I just love the head move. You've got a PhD, bastard. Man's turned into a muppet for a sec.
For fuck's sake.
Squeaky chair. Trying to make a joke here. You're squeaking.
Oh my god.
Best podcast in the world.
I feel like I'm gonna die. Quickly before we move on from the dream.
Yeah.
Do you know what also was weird about that dream? Is I fucking hate the ocean, but I also fucking love it. So like, I love swimming in the sea, but it's fucking terrifying. Do you think the ocean's, because to me, I don't think there's anything more terrifying to me than the ocean.
Just water, innit?
Oh no, some of the animals in it, James.
We're in Cornwall, not the bloody Caribbean.
No, but I'm just saying in general. Like, the ocean terrifying.
You know, you're not exactly going to put me in shark-infested water and I'm not going to shit myself.
Octopus are terrifying. Sorry.
They're quite cute, though.
No, they're not.
Like you know, like if Hank from Finding Dory comes up to me, I'm kind of thinking.
If an animated 7-tentacled octopus came up to me, I'd be like, "Hello, Hank, how you doing, mate?" But if a fucking colossal squid came up to me, I'd be like, "Can you not?"
Is this weird? In terms of my first reaction is, at least it's an interesting way to die.
That is true.
Like, genuinely, this might be weird, but one of the things that scares me is dying really dull.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, you know, imagine dying because you choked on a grape.
Yeah, that is shocking.
Like,
a grape of all things.
Like, I want the reason I die to be cool. Like, you know, like, for example, if I'm to die of cancer,
yeah,
I'd want it to be like an interesting, rare cancer. Do you know what I mean? Like, this might sound weird, but I don't...
No, I kind of get it. You don't want to just die...
You know, because I don't want... For example, like
dying in your sleep.
How to die? Like, skin cancer. Oh,
if I was like, how did he
enjoy.
die? Oh, he died in his sleep. Come on!
You know, God, you could have at least...
We can do better than that.
Could have at least, like, fell off a cliff or something.
Yeah,
like,
we can do better. Oh, I was devoured by a giant squid. Like fucking hell.
Like proper Corrie shit. That's what I want.
Yeah, like a sinkhole opens up in the Platt's garden.
That's niche reference. I don't even only know that. I only watched that. I just want there to be like, I don't know, maybe like the place I work gets set on fire and someone uses it under cover of night to like bludgeon me to death.
Yeah, or like we're like anywhere, like a sinkhole opens beneath us or something, like, you know, something, the whole thing, building just fucking collapses or something funny. Something funny.
You know, in like Captain America: Civil War, where Zemo does the whole like tap.
Yeah.
Thing, what the best way to die, I reckon, would be someone to do that, but with like squirty cream. As in, you'll just try to swallow as much squirty cream before you just die.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Better than water, innit?
You know,
I don't want to be well hydrated in death. I don't care. I'm
sorry,
dead.
yeah, make sure I'm fucking well hydrated, please.
Make sure my piss is the correct colour. No, this is actually a mental thing. So I'm a man who I don't know what it is with us today.
It's because we haven't done one in like 2 weeks, so it's all just.
So I'm a man who likes to keep myself well hydrated. It's well known I have one of the weakest bladders known to man, and one of the reasons is because I do drink quite a bit of water.
You do.
I get really stressed when my pee isn't clear.
Right.
Because then I'm thinking, because for me, health, I like pizza, I like cheese,
yes.
I like cake.
Yes.
Being healthy is quite hard for me, mainly, and I don't have the motivation to run that often. I go to the gym occasionally.
Yeah.
Water is one of the easiest ways you can keep. It's cheap / free at uni.
Yeah,
uni taps. I'm paying for it under my rent, but I've already paid for it. For me,
you don't have to go out and buy the water. It's readily accessible.
So it's one of those guilt things where it could be the lightest tinge of yellow. Obviously, this is a little bit grim, but I could immediately go fuck. I need 500 mils of water.
Yeah. Down 4 pints.
It just stresses me. I don't know what it is.
I get that. It is weird though, isn't it? How water is so helpful, and it's just obviously we're fortunate enough that it's just there.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I feel guilty if I don't use it. So I'm I have to. It's water. If I don't, I'm being a bit of a cunt, and I.
Yeah, you are.
But I'm not really. But
it depends on your mood. I'm joking. You're lovely.
While we're talking about drinks very quickly, I found out a fact. We either spoke about this. Right, this is the thing. Our conversations merge, and I never know if it's happened on the podcast or just general conversation between. A TikTok I saw that basically said this amount of this will kill you, and it was things that like 11 shots of vodka in a row is enough to kill you.
Not on the podcast, but we have talked about this.
Which is 11 shots of vodka in a row will kill you.
Which is mad. Because people waterfall vodka all the time. It's maybe not quite 11 shots, but it's quite close.
Not. Yeah, and there were so many different things that were like this amount of sugar in one sitting will kill you. I found out something today that 42 coffees in one sitting is enough to kill you.
No, I saw something like that.
That's mental.
Is it? I mean, because you see how some people can get, and I reckon. Because they want to kind of maybe shock you a little bit with these stats.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's 42 people for someone who is very caffeine sensitive.
Yeah, I guess
could kill you. And most times if you would drink, and let's not test it, but 42. I reckon for some people it's possible to drink 30 coffees in a row. And that's enough.
Yeah, that's true. It all depends on BMI.
But I can see that because obviously it
caffeine
raises your heart rate a little bit,
caffeine goes mental.
It makes you a bit jittery.
It does.
By what, depending on the person, if you're incredibly caffeine sensitive, I can imagine 42 of those. Your heart's beating a little bit too fast. Bada bada boom.
Yeah. Bada.
That's the technical term.
I've used a lot of my topics there, James.
Wow.
Turned into Owen Wilson for a split second.
My sister don't watch this podcast.
Oh.
She doesn't know about it. Well, no, she knows about the channel, so it's up to her and her resourcefulness as to whether she watches this podcast.
Oh, what are you about to say?
I don't know. I think she's a bit of an idiot. So, I'm going to tell you something she bought.
Oh dear.
So, long story short, she spent £70 on a board game.
Beg your fucking pardon?
My sister spent £70 on a board game.
What fucking board game?
She just found a Connect 4 she really liked and just...
No, you're joking.
I am joking on that
What board game is 70 quid?
So, have you ever heard of the popular board game Risk?
I have.
Okay? Family tradition. Basically, we stopped playing it as a family because me and my sister, when we were younger, would have scraps over Risk. We really would. I have actually played the mobile version a little bit.
Is it good?
It's quite fun, yeah.
I love Risk. It's good.
But the board game Risk, basically, long story short, you get given soldiers and you get allocated. It's most commonly played on a map of the world, not exactly split up into countries, but roughly split up into countries. And you get areas, and you allocate soldiers, and you get a certain amount of soldiers per bit, and it's basically a tactical dice rolling game where you try and take over other countries, and you win by taking over the rest of the world. Now, so obviously, as a family, we have quite a lot of nostalgia for the board game. Now, I love many nerdy things.
Yes.
My family, and one of the big reasons for that is my family. You know, like I might have discovered and started liking Doctor Who, but I can readily admit I would not be the mega fan of Doctor Who I am today without my dad.
Right.
And that is one of the best things because it's introduced me to something I just love all elements of. Another one of those things that he basically, my sister and my relationship is, in terms of like the things our dad's passed on to him, is very similar. But I'm Doctor Who, my sister is Star Trek.
Okay.
So just as my sister has a passing interest in Doctor Who, but probably wouldn't go back and rewatch anything on probably unless it's DT.
Yeah.
I have quite a similar relationship to Star Trek. Okay. For example, like there's a Picard TV show I quite like Picard. I'll watch it.
Yes.
But I'm not going to go back and watch old Deep Space Nine episodes.
Bangers.
Not a fucking hate system.
Yeah, I don't really like Star Trek.
That's a niche reference.
Yeah.
So long story short, before I bore all of you, my sister bought a Star Trek version of Risk.
And it was 70 quid.
So what it is was it was made a few years ago, and I think it was either a charity edition, or it just didn't. They're not producing it anymore. That's for sure. That's the one. Yeah, the 50th. Yeah, so it's made for the 50th anniversary.
So it's quite a big thing then.
And they don't make it anymore.
Right.
I remember her talking about this when I was home at Christmas. She'd been looking for a while. The cheapest she could find previously was £200.
Fucking
So this was an in-demand thing, and I think she saw the price of one of them at £70, and she went, "This is probably the best deal I'm going to get."
Fuck it.
So fuck
no
it.
one's got a better idea.
So fuck it.
There we go. All the references today. Fucking hell.
So now I've explained vaguely her thought process, and I'm going to be completely honest. I'm quite proud of her at the moment because she's got a new job closer to home. She's doing well for herself. She's saving up some money. She's doing well. If that's what she wants to spend her disposable income, I don't think any board game is worth £70 unless you were to tell me there was a bumper Doctor Who Monopoly. Then I might.
Can you imagine?
That'd be great.
Doctor Who Monopoly.
We saw a Falmouth Monopoly, and I'm definitely getting it for our draft next year.
Because we saw a Cornwall one first. I was like, that'd be sick. And then we saw a Falmouth one. We're like, we know all of these places.
Yeah, we literally have been in these places.
Yeah, that'd be sick. All I want to do is own Gilly Beach Cafe. There's nothing more I want in life.
I want to. What's this big stairs called?
Jacob's Ladder.
I want to own Jacob's Ladder. I think that's one of like the shit brown properties, Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of my sister's decision? Now I've explained it.
I mean, it's not great. Right? Are you getting? Is she going to play it?
I think one of our big Easter plans is that's what she wants the whole family to sit down.
Right.
That's the problem, is that without me there, my mum isn't that into board games. She'll just do it because it's a family activity and it keeps everyone else silent and happy. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And you can't play 2-player Risk. So having me in there means Mum's kind of like, yeah, fuck it. 3-player Risk is a bit of a stretch anyway. So I'm not sure how many times she will play it. But and also my dad, as I mentioned, is very into Star Trek, so it'll keep him happy.
As long as she keeps it in like good condition, then
she can maybe then sell it for a profit.
That is the only thing that I think that's worth it. If you buy it for 70 quid, play it. Try and keep it in as best condition as possible. and then maybe you can sell it on.
They've clearly made a lot of these, because just here I can see a Game of Thrones version, which, if I was to buy any, a Game of Thrones version of Risk, those two concepts marry up very well.
That would work.
The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
Peaky Blinders, got a Star Wars one.
Nice.
Like
Assassin's Creed
Risk specifically Europe. Because we definitely need specifically a European Risk. The EU approved version of Risk. We can't play
the
it
Brexit
anymore.
Risk.
The Brexit Risk. All players just attack Britain until you win.
Scotland trying to get independence.
Even the Welsh are, to be fair. No one wants us.
Oh my god. Do you know what? If when we had sat down to record this, we'd have gone, we're going to do like a 15-minute segment purely on Risk war game, I'd be like, not sure, but you know what? That was solid.
That's a clip if you've ever got one in your life.
Talking about Risk.
Is £70 worth it for a board game?
That's a good title,
I told you.
Banging.
I fuck with the algorithm.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, you said
Jesus
you
Christ.
don't have topics because you're
no, I have
fucking
some, I
useless.
think.
Fraser.
Yes, James.
You don't have to like everyone.
I don't. There's something like fucking. What's the context?
So, this was right. So this is kind of linking back, and this probably is the start of about 20 minutes worth of similar-ish topics that just should spiral. Because I kind of have quite a lot of thoughts on uni at the moment, especially learning-wise.
I see.
Now, as actors in training, a lot of the things, and just in life in general a lot of times, a lot of the things that get parroted to you are networking, connections, and just in general in life, get on with people, try new things, meet people, get connections. Sometimes, great advice.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can really work in your favour. But what that can sometimes promote, to me, is that it promotes a lifestyle where you feel like you have to like and get on with everybody and everyone. And this is especially not ideal in relationships where both people need something from each other.
Yes.
But I hate the idea that society these days, I think, would like you to have that you have to like and get on with everyone.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's that thing of, oh, you might meet this person later in life and they might be giving you an opportunity, and if they, I'm like, look, like I'm not gonna pretend to like someone on the off chance that in 20 years they're gonna be there offering me, like, it's not worth it. Like,
I mean, my big example at the moment is that not only, like, so, for example, I'm not going to go into any specifics at all.
Yeah.
I am taught by many people. Personally, there has been one relationship, like student-lecturer relationship springs to mind, but I couldn't, off the top of my head, that's just so broad I couldn't specifically go into any other ones, that I'm going, at the end of the day, it is your job, you are being paid to teach me, I am paying to be taught and be given a grade by you. That is a working relationship that has to be followed if the status quo is to be maintained.
yes.
But we are very clashing personalities in the way that we work, and to me, that's completely fine.
Yes.
In terms of, we have the working relationship, we know what we want to get out of each other. Probably I need more from them than they need from me, but we do not have to get on as people. We complete our working relationship and then we sod off.
Yes.
I mean, one of the things I mean, the main thing is just teaching style. One of the things that I have found particularly annoying is I'm at university, and sometimes I am made to feel like I'm in primary school. In terms of, most lecturers will be quite happy if, for example, you quickly go out and take a piss.
Yeah.
Because guess what? We're adults.
Yeah.
We're allowed to piss.
A lot of lecturers will be like you don't need to ask. Like if you need to go and grab a drink, if you need a piss, go for a piss.
And I've had it once where mentally I just need to take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Immediately, they come out and go, not in a nice way, in terms of not like a, you alright, like in terms of what are you doing?
Yeah. And do you want to?
And it's a bit like, not only do we just clearly not see eye to eye because any other lecturer would be absolutely fine with it, but it's also a bit patronising and a bit pathetic to me.
It's that thing of, there's this whole thing of, oh, you're training to be professionals sort of thing. And I'm like, then I should be allowed to go out and have a breather, or go out because I need a piss. Like,
because, you know, like no disrespect to mathematics students.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Fucking gurgling all over the place. Bloody hell.
It was your face of pure fucking shock.
I've lost my train of thought.
No disrespect to mathematics students.
No disrespect to mathematics students, but acting can bring up some quite raw emotions. I know, for example,
intense.
So in the first study block, I know, for example, not only was I going through some troubles and therefore thinking about them a lot, but you do, for example, a lot of like, lie down and close your eyes. And I'm thinking, well, if I lie down and close my eyes, all I'm going to think about is the things that are going on in my outside life, and I have no way of escaping from it. Therefore, I'm literally just going to be making a pool of tears on your floor. So I'm just going to step outside for 5 minutes.
Yes. But there was an exercise we did in one of our lecture class things, which was like, so we all just sat down, and our lecturer...
Bless you, son.
That was like a sneeze and a cough. That was exhausting. That was really exhausting. And yeah, so we all sat down, and he was just like, everyone think of someone you miss. And like, and it was one of the things where like, people were crying, like, there was a few people crying. It was a very, like, sort of somber attitude, but everyone was sort of like together. And then it was like, if anyone needs to go and like, step outside and just, he was like, do it. And it was that, I was like, thank you. Like, I was like, I feel like I'm being treated like a human. Like,
it was in the first study block for me where one of the exercises was go through like the months of your year thinking about the things that have happened to you.
Jesus Christ.
And literally at that point all my mind was going, that was shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was shit. Well, that was shit. And again, they were very supportive in terms of, just leave, take 5 minutes, do what you need. And getting this back on topic, that working relationship of it felt like maybe I'm chatting out my arse, but on their part it was a lack of understanding of the lecturer-student relationship, and it felt very much like not primary school, maybe, but teacher student, instead of lecturer student.
Yeah, because that is a very different dynamic.
100%.
Even, and this is going to sound really not child, I don't know. I don't know what the word for it is, but even down to the thing of like calling lecturers by first names, it's that thing of like, we're all people. Whereas like at school, it's Mr. this or Miss that. Whereas it's
those levels of authority where I know I've made jokes in sessions that you just can't, you know, you just can't get away with those sorts of things in school.
In a professional,
the lecturer's just happy to, you know, vibe and laugh along, as long as, you know, things are productive and
but there's
moving forward.
but again, there is
more
still
collaborative.
But obviously there is still that level of I am a lecturer, like, and that's what it should be. But yeah, I agree. It's a tricky situation.
moving away from this whole idea of relationships, I think that is just to tie that off. I think it's an important, because I reckon most people watching this, and probably yourself, and you don't have to mention any names or even say anything about them. Most people have someone that they have to work with in some form of relationship, but just do not get on with them. That is 100% okay and valid and absolutely fine. Don't feel stressed about the fact that you don't get on with a certain person, because you live the relationship that you have to get out of them, because let's face it, sometimes it's best to be selfish, and then you don't interact with them. All good.
Good little tie off there to the wood topic.
Just so generally back to uni. I know for me, and I think for yourself, we've both been finding this period quite difficult. And I think there are quite a few reasons for that. The first of all being, I'm a lazy bastard.
Same.
Because I know, for example, that we're getting to deadline season, which is why there's probably going to be another couple of weeks gap between this and the next podcast, if I'm honest.
Just because it's...
Because then we'll have done quite a lot of our deadlines by the time we sorted that.
Just reminded me I need to film a video, because it's Wednesday tomorrow.
Oh God!
You've just reminded me.
And God. So one of the things is I've just so for example, there's an essay that I only just wrote my first 250 words for today. There's a political speech that I only just learnt this weekend. There's some lines for a Chekhov scene that I haven't even started learning. They're just vaguely in me because of rehearsals. And that's one of the reasons why it's been stressful, is because naturally I am a lazy human being. I will put things off and wait till the last possible minute. Most uploads you see on the Nerdy Brit channel were likely edited that day and filmed that day or the night before. And I just zone in, focus and get it all done, because I know that's when you come to a YouTube channel, you're a pre-filmer, I'm not.
I like to pre-film. I think that's the only aspect where I don't like. Usually, I work really well under pressure. Like with the essay or learning lines, anything, I work better under pressure than like weeks before. Other than YouTube, because I'm like, I want to have plenty of time to, like, if there's editing troubles or like copyright, if there's like copyright problems I've got to try and sort out. It's weird. One
of the good things about YouTube is because you can literally schedule, you can literally see the work paying off in terms of how far you've got ahead. Which is very useful in periods like this where it's a bit...
which I probably should have done.
One of the things that makes me even lazier is I wrote the entirety of my last essay, 2,000 words, which isn't tons, which is probably why I can get away with this. I wrote the entirety of my 2,000 word essay the night before it was due.
Wow.
And I got 2-1. So it's one of those things. It encourages the lazy habit, because I know this time that I can literally avoid it and still get good. And I got feedback that wasn't necessarily applicable to the time spent on it. It was applicable to the content that I know I can literally switch up and probably move it up to a first.
It's that thing, like, in your head of like, well, if I start 2 days earlier than the deadline, that means I could probably get a first. Like that in my head, that's how my head works. So like, right, if I started a day before it was due and got a 2-1, surely if I start like 2 days earlier, it's going to be even better.
That's what I'm thinking now. If I just do it little and often, I probably won't have it all done by the night before, but it literally means I'll just have more time to proofread and nothing else.
What I need to do is more research. Because that's what I didn't do a lot in the first one, is research anything.
What I do is I definitely research and write. In terms of, like, if things come up during my research for other topics, I just write it down. Otherwise, I research and go. And you can get away with that for a 2,000 word essay. Because it's just less content. Maybe for, like, the third year dissertation, I probably can't. But if I can get away with it, I'm going to do it, because it just saves so much time.
It's less admin.
And guess what? I want to sink pints.
Come on. It's uni, innit?
It is uni in it.
6 pints.
I did have... Yeah, so it's over... Yeah, like, first of all, I'm lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, at the moment, uni is just... I'm... So, one of the things I'm struggling with is... I'm finding voice quite taxing, because it's very emotional on the voice, I find. And quite strenuous on the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Movement... Because we're doing animal transformations.
Voice, we have to perform a political speech, just context, which is obviously quite heavy. Yeah, and then
movement is animal transformations for 5 minutes, which is very taxing on the body.
Being an animal for 5 minutes, eating, drinking, moving, and then like for the last 30 seconds transforming into a human. That is taxing.
And what's been happening recently is about 4 weeks ago our timetable changed to where Monday and Tuesday we had what's called acting in character, so where we are working in groups on a scene from Chekhov plays. I think we've touched on that before. After so we get a lunch break, but I find not only is because it was written over a century ago, the language isn't always the easiest, it's quite tough to get your head round sometimes. Then I'm incredibly tired from the day, from the previous mentally and like physically taxing stuff. And it's this doubt that I'll never be able to get rid of, where like my brain is always telling me I'm shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you're doing is shit, what you're saying is shit, you're a shit actor. And every time, today I had one, and this week for acting in character really hasn't been that awful for me. Every time before that, mainly because I think our lecturers kind of realised I was struggling a bit and has kind of like gone a bit lighter on me, which, you know, good. Lecturer-student relationship, working out how things are going and adapting accordingly. I'm using a lot of big words.
That's really, just quickly touch on that. That's the other thing that I think is really important for the like lecturer-student is like not everyone's the same. Like in any way. So I think what is like realise and go, oh, let's adapt that for this person, but keep this the same for. That's always nice.
That's presumably the rewarding part of teaching.
Yeah.
Is getting there on a more personal level. Like people always say, you know, I'd ideally have the class size a little bit smaller so we can do this and that and get more in depth with things. Like that's like, what you just want.
I'd never want to be a teacher. I don't have the patience for it. But if I did, I'd want to get like I'd want to have that like personal connection with each, just so I know what's going on.
It's kind of just been like reinforcing my stress in terms of like all those elements have just been making me doubt myself so much. And it's just this feeling of... Because I might have touched on this before, but I'll always go back to this feeling, and this is probably almost something I'll definitely like go further into if and when we do like a proper interviewy thing. But it'll always be this thing for me of, you were academic, like you got decent grades in your like GCSE stuff. You were about to do A-levels before you switched things up performing arts.
So why are you walking around like a Komodo dragon?
Like, yeah, legit. Like, sometimes I will literally sit there and go, I might not have been particularly happy, but money is... Some people say money is happiness, some people use the phrase money is freedom. At least I'll have had a well-paying job that could calm my anxiety and... Oh, I've gone a bit deep today, haven't I?
A bit.
I think I have been watching too much Stephen Bartlett.
You have. The last half of this has got a bit.
Because I feel quite open.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, wow. Okay.
Rubicon, isn't it?
Rubicon. Whoa, motherfuckers!
That's good. Fucking Christ. Shat myself.
So overall, that and the fact that for example, the animal transformations, I'm just not very fucking good at. I'm a fat man. Please don't make me crawl on the floor like a fucking
I hate it. It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm quite enjoying the political speeches, actually.
Political speeches I'm enjoying, because I get to Michael Sheen.
We're both doing the same Michael Sheen speech.
So I get to Michael Sheen.
If you want to look it up, it's one of the ones that he did regarding the NHS and the Tories being cunts.
Yeah.
The final topic about uni, and then I have one more topic which is actually quite dull, so I probably should have done it earlier. lecturers
Yes.
for like the last 3-4 weeks in their lectures, because we've discussed so basically we do voice, we do movement, that's one thing in it together, we do acting and character, which is the Chekhov stuff, we also have lectures that combine with the essay we've talked about. That's our life structure. For the lectures, for the essay, for the last month, every lecture I've been to, the lecturers have been promoting their own material.
They've been self-promoting themselves.
And every time it happens, me and Fraser will always make the joke of
link in the description.
Link in the description.
Click the card.
Like and subscribe. Go follow me on Patreon.
Literally.
Like,
it's ridiculous.
They keep using their own material. It's like, lads, and recently they've been showing us videos of their work. Like one of our lecturers literally showed a performance of him in an absurdist play. And it's like, mate, put it away.
Yeah, alright.
Calm yourself, son. It's a bit forced. The lecture we had most recently, where bloke is working on his own VR experience thing, which first of all, I have to admit, calling VR experiences theatre is starting to get a little bit come on, son.
Yeah.
Check yourself.
Check off. No.
So basically, and then he puts the VR headset and shows us the shit, and it's mate, teach us. You've taken up half of this lecture going, oh, this shit VR I've made. You want to come check it out?
And it was
fuck off.
Because that way, for half an hour, you've got 7 people up front doing it. The rest of the lecture theatres just stood there
I'm on my phone, I'm chilling.
Yeah, we were all we were.
Which I'm happy with, but I should
but
be
I'd rather be learning something.
Learning.
And not just talking about castles for 20 minutes.
God, yeah, that's a bit much, wasn't it?
That was a bit mental. Didn't relate to anything. But here's a castle.
My last topic.
Yes.
So
I've got one more after that.
So banging, lovely. Is yours?
Mine is up.
Light, funny, and interesting.
Yes,
because
it's
mine
topical as well.
Because I very much debated deleting this off my notes, but hopefully we can.
Well, mine's topical and funny, so it'll.
Basically, yeah. So you can carry this last bit.
Yeah.
Well in us.
Well, look, we're good at this.
We're gonna get to an hour.
We are. Up the us.
Have we ever uploaded a podcast that's less than an hour? No. Apart from I think the first one might have been more.
It was in 2 parts, so I've got no idea.
I think if you add up the 2 parts, it was 50.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, I had a great big bushy beard then.
You're like Santa.
I want to get back there. I want one of those did you? I saw a great example. It was probably about 4 months ago. Did you see I didn't watch the whole episode, but I saw a clip. The Jackmate episode talking about the guy who ran from Australia to the UK.
Yeah.
His big bushy ginger beard. I want something like that.
That'd be good.
I reckon that'd be great.
Shoot that.
Customer service jobs.
Yes.
Now, as a person who's worked in a supermarket, I feel like I've been completely on both sides of this.
Okay.
It's a very weird dynamic where on both sides you think the other person cares a lot more than they do.
Okay.
So my experience as a customer recently was I was buying clothes for the acting and character assessment because we've got to buy clothes. Yeah, thank you for wasting 20 quid of my student loan, you twat. And what happened was they couldn't find the barcode.
Right.
One of their things, it wasn't working. And in that moment, I can see the cashier shitting herself.
Yeah.
Now, I know exactly how that feels because I've been a cashier before and I know that I'm shitting myself. I don't give a fuck. As a customer, I'm perfectly happy. Then she finds it. The dynamic completely switches. My card gets declined.
So you're shitting yourself.
I'm in the shitter, and I'm there thinking, fuck fuck, I look like an absolute twat. These people behind me have been waiting ages. Anxiety is high as fuck. She seems perfectly calm and fine, and I've been on the other side of that as a cashier. Someone's card declines. I don't give a fuck.
No.
They'll find a way to pay. If worse comes to worse, supervisors like I'll go put back their shopping at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I know how to void it off the system. I'll be fine. And I think of the odd ones out. Are you familiar?
Yes.
I went through a little binge watching his Subway videos recently because they were banging, and he makes a great point of which kind of what I've talked about is like he used to get anxious because he used to order I think it was from the same Chinese order twice a week for a certain amount of time, and he was like, these people must think I'm so weird. And then you look at it from his perspective working at Subway and he goes, no one cares about your order, no one remembers you.
No.
And I find it so interesting, and I think I need to get better at remembering from a cashier's perspective. As a customer, if I fuck up, they don't care that much. As a cashier, if they fuck up, they probably want a lot of reassurance.
Yeah.
In terms of it's completely fine, sort it out.
Which, to be fair, I find myself doing. I'm very socially awkward, but when it's this is weird. If I'm with other people, like my mates, I'm very socially awkward. But on my own, I'm weirdly confident. If I walk into a shop on my own, I'm weirdly confident. But if I walked into a shop like you or any of my mates, I'd suddenly be really... I don't know why.
I'm the opposite.
Really strange.
I'm the opposite. I find... The best example I've got for that is the gym.
Okay.
I walk in on my own to a gym, and I'm there thinking, everyone else here is so skinny, I'm so fat looking at this gym, I could be doing this exercise wrong, I'm looking like a twat here, I shouldn't be taking this up for this time, he's eyeing me up, what the fuck. That's how my brain works. Soon as I have one other person in that gym, I could be doing the exact same thing.
And you just wouldn't...
And I have none of those worries.
So
and it's
weird.
very similar in a shop in terms of when I was shopping for those clothes, I'm thinking... People looking at me I should see a therapist, shouldn't I?
Jesus Christ.
I don't have the money. So
Sorry, that's mental, by the way. That you have to pay.
you have to pay
That's mental.
for therapy, boys.
That's a whole other fucking...
Sorry. NHS, National Health
We did a speech
Service.
I thought it was of true representation and real advocacy.
A symbol of equality, of fairness and compassion. The nation, the sweat, the post-war Labour company to power
gonna make no
was
sense.
made up of people who had faced the horrors and hardships of the Second World War and are bound together as one community to overcome them.
That's gonna make...
That's from our political speech.
yeah.
I hope you enjoyed.
That was really good.
That's not how I'm planning to perform.
Please do.
Bound together as one community to overcome them.
The urge to do it in a Welsh accent is so overwhelming for me.
I can't really do a Welsh. No, I can't do a Welsh.
That was really good.
What's that quite
It's
good?
only the last line though. Besmirch the name of Britain. You have made us ashamed of things of which formerly we were proud. I'm like, I can't not do it in the Michael
Thing is, though,
Sheen.
you can do like a you can do like a charactery Welsh accent. I'm just trying to I'm just doing the classic.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that you know.
I'm a bit serious.
I could do Scottish, like that's fine, but that I can
got
just
really
do
deep from there. We managed to just paddle out there with Michael Sheen.
Banging. Yeah. What I'd be genuinely, if you'd be interested in us doing deep dives into each other, I couldn't think of a better way to phrase that without sounding like pufters.
Yeah. Refer to earlier episode.
Refer to an earlier episode.
Yeah, I think that would be quite fun.
Yeah, we should do little. I'll be quite in, inside the head of Fraser.
Yeah.
God. Fraser, what's your vaguely interesting
Right.
topic?
So coming up with your very deep. There has been a thing on TikTok. I don't know how much you're on TikTok, but there has been a debate on TikTok for quite a while now. I thought it would have fizzled out and finished by now, but it fucking hasn't.
Yeah.
And it's this whole debate. I'm sure everyone watching this knows. Are there more doors or wheels in the world? James, what team is you on? Is you on? That's grammar. Twat.
I've been seeing some. We said this was going to be a light, good, funny
Oh dear.
conversation ender. So let's hope we don't get this big on. I've seen a lot of idiots talking about wheels.
James.
Lads,
There's no way you think there's more doors.
there are more doors in the world.
Where's your evidence?
What do you mean? There's my.
Well, I
evidence?
want to hear. Like, what? How?
Right. There are so many doors in this room.
Do you realise each drawer needs 2 wheels to work? It's on rollers, cunt.
This is the thing, right? So I've been seeing lots of people talk about, the conveyor belts at factories.
They are wheels.
They're not wheels. They're spinny things that turn.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. It's not a door. It's just a thing. Fuck off. Right.
Like, right, if the conveyor belt things are a door, then fucking like.
Sorry, my friend.
Like. Yeah, go on.
What's that then? What are these?
That's not a fucking wheel.
Oh, you're a twat.
That's
You
not
are.
a
You're
wheel.
a fucking
That's not a
wrong
wheel.
than you are.
What do you
What
mean?
about them? What about them?
That's not a wheel.
Okay, shopping trolleys.
Yes, they have 4 wheels.
Lot of wheels. Lot of shopping trolleys. Hospital beds. Wheelchairs. There's 8 wheels, and that's just skateboards. 4 in each of them.
Advent calendars.
Oh, fuck off.
24 doors.
Are you a advent calendar?
Advent calendars. Because if
Office
right,
chair.
no,
Because the argument.
right, no, right. So what I'm gonna say is,
Oh.
if you're allowed wheels on a fucking conveyor belt, that is a door.
Oh, fuck off. That's a lid.
That's a door. What?
That's a lid.
You're allowing yourself
Because
that.
that is literally a wheel.
You're allowing yourself that. You made one video and that
Oh,
built your
fuck
whole YouTube
off.
career. Literally.
Oh, that's relevant to wheels, you twat.
Oh, sorry. Gonna look at a fucking pirate ship? Yeah, that's a fucking wheel, innit?
What do you like a wheel? Like a. Sorry, it.
All right.
It's
Search up a door then.
fine.
Yeah, go on. Search up the definition
You're
of a
a
door then.
a
Oh,
twat.
you twat.
Enter a building, room, or vehicle. Get in that and drive to work then.
All right.
Go.
I will.
Right, no, seriously now.
Right, no, genuinely.
Right. On a serious note.
Right. Thing is though, your tiny, let's be honest, brain, what it's going for is you're thinking, oh, suburbia. Think of all of the cities.
Yes.
Think of all of the big, massive, fatty cities where barely fuck all driving happens in those
Yes.
cities.
Offices, yeah.
All you're thinking
Office
is
chair.
offices,
Office chair.
flats.
Office chair, my friend.
Not all offices have spinny chairs.
Most of them do, and if they don't, they'll have filing cabinets in which there are wheels for it to function.
Right. Fuck it, you can't. No, I'm sorry. I'm not letting you get away with filing cabinets as
They're
wheels.
drawers. Drawers have wheels.
Drawers
in.
do not have wheels.
They,
in.
how do you think you're
You
fucking?
blue-haired twat.
I will look up how do drawers work. How do you think drawers work? What's that sliding on?
Just because it fucking turns and make it a fucking
It's a
wheel.
circular object on an axle that moves. It's a
That's
wheel.
not a wheel.
You're a cunt.
You're a twat.
Fuck off then. It's a wheel. It is a wheel.
You're a piece of shit.
Oh, fuck off then.
Fuck yourself.
Fuck off then.
Jesus Christ.
You fucking